So today we have a very beautiful geometrical question. All the beauty of this question is just because of the answer that we will obtain as the ratio of x upon y. So now let us discuss the given data. The given data is that there are three congruent equilateral triangles. They are arranged in a shape of a trapezoid, or we can say a trapezium. The second thing you have to keep in our mind is that these are the equilateral triangles. All the sides are equals to each other, and the angles are equals to 60 degree. You have to just keep it in our mind. Now the second phase of the question, when these three equilateral triangles are arranged in a shape of a trapezium, or we can say a trapezoid, then from the base of the first equilateral triangle, you draw a line segment that intersects the side of the third equilateral triangle at some distance y from its top corner, and at some distance x from the top corner of the first equilateral triangle. Now the specification of this line segment is that it's dividing the first and the third equilateral triangle in such a way that this blue area is equals to the area of white. So this is the eye-catching part, that yes, this line segment is specific because it is dividing, means it's in such a way that the areas are getting equal to each other. All you have to find from here is the ratio of x upon y. So let us see its solution, which is the path to reach that beautiful answer. So first of all, I'm just removing these lines that I've just shaded so that I can have some better area to write the solution. I'm just removing this x and y also. Remember that there were x and y over there. Now just I am quickly naming this diagram, that's the corner, so it's easy while explaining. I am considering this line or that line, everything I'm just erasing. So now from here I will start the naming. So A, B, C, D and E. Now remember that yes, it's over 60 degree over there, 60 degree over here. All these angles are 60 degree. So all these lines are ultimately parallel to each other. That is, this parallel to this line is parallel to this line, this is parallel to this, as this was the trapezium. You can just have a look how these lines are parallel to each other. So you have to keep it in our mind while solving the solution. So now first step I will do is join from a line segment from E to B. So just joining it. So A to B, I have joined a line segment. Now what I can observe is that the quadrilateral, that's the quadrilateral I am just mentioning over here, quadrilateral ABDE. Yes, quadrilateral ABDE is nothing but it's a rhombus. All the four sides are equal. Yes, it is the side of a congruent equilateral triangle. So all these three are having the same length. So that is the base of the second one, this is the base of the first one, this is the side of the first one, this is the side of the second one. So all these four lengths are equal, and all the four lengths were also parallel, as I just told you a minute before. So it's forming a rhombus. In a rhombus, the diagonal intersect at 90 degree, and also it bisects the diagonal. So I'm just taking over here, I have kept another diagram as I do many times, so that all the lines and angles does not get meshed in a single diagram. So just that rhombus over here, and remember that it's a rhombus, and this diagonal, that's from A to D. AD, look carefully, AD is nothing but it's the side of this first equilateral triangle. And as I think I should name the side of this equilateral triangle in some kind of variable, so I'm just taking that side of the equilateral triangle is something like A. Yes, so AD is also a side of the equilateral triangle, that's the first one. So AD is equals to A, and now as I told you, in a rhombus the diagonals meet at 90 degrees, so that my 90 degree marking over here. So all these four angles are 90 degree, and also it bisects this diagonal, so this and this are equally bisected. So over there also, that AD was there. On AD, if that intersection point is equals to something like O, then AO is equals to OD, and that is equals to half times the side of the equilateral triangle, that is equals to A by 2. So we have just got something like value AO is equals to 8. Now what I will do is just mark this point over here, that is F. Yes, F I can do. Now just zooming back and changing the color. Yes, now just look at the triangle in this diagram, that's nothing but E, B and F. So I'm just drawing it again over here. So the triangle is E, B and F. Yes, and second thing to be noted is that in a rhombus, the angles, not the angles, look carefully over here. Just removing this O from here, and the 90 degree, remember it's 90 degree over there, 90 degree over here. This angle is already equals to 60 degree. Why? Because it is the corner of this middle equilateral triangle. So that is 60, over here it's 90, so it's going to be ultimately 30 degree. If that is 30, this is already equals to 60 because it is the corner of this equilateral triangle. So this complete angle is going to be 90 degree. Yes, and it's already 90 degree over here. So what I can observe in this particular triangle, that EBF, the angle B completely it's 90 degree, and the line segment that's going from point over here, let that be marked over there, G, and let this point be equals to O. So you can observe in that triangle from the point G to O a line is going, so G to O, and it's forming again a 90 degree over there. So what you can just say from over here, all we can say is that yes, this line is parallel to this line. If there is a straight line, there are two perpendiculars to it, then they both are parallel to each other. Very common thing to be known. So again over here, these two lines are parallel. And remember that yes, BF was having a length that is equals to Y. Remember that yes, BF was equals to Y. Now second thing, I can just have a look that, as I told you, in a rhombus, the diagonals intersect each other at 90 degree and it bisects. So this length that was already equals to AD, it was already the side of this first equilateral triangle, so it got A by 2 and A by 2. But remember that yes, other is also bisected, and the other line that has been bisected, it's nothing but it's ED. You can just have a look in this and over here. So it was nothing but ED, and at the point of intersection, that is O, at point of intersection O, ED was equally bisected as we run the diagonal from point D to A. Yes, so over here also remember this EB was accurately bisected because of the point O. So this length is already equals to this length. Now what can we say about from over here? It's nothing but it's the midpoint theorem. We have a nice triangle, a line that is already parallel to the base, and its specification is that it is already bisecting one of the side. So it's going to bisect the other side. That is not required over here, but the main requirement is if base is equals to something like Z, then that parallel line is having a length that is half the base, Z by 2. It's a very nice midpoint theorem. We already know it. So over here also, its parallel line is there. Absolutely, it's there. One of the side is exactly bisected. Yes, it's bisected. So this parallel line is going to have a length half the length of the base. So in this case, the base is equals to Y. So this is having a length that is half the base. So it's equals to Y by 2. So Y by 2. Now Y by 2 is the length of OG. The line segment OG is having a length Y by 2. And the line segment means AG. Remember, yes, AG, and over here is the point O. AG was having a length that is equals to X according to the original question. AG was equals to X. G is the point where this yellow line segment is touching the side of this first equilateral triangle. And as I told you, AG was equals to X according to the original question. OG value I've just found that is nothing but it's Y by 2. And as I told you that yes, at point O, this AD was bisected and its side equals to, means I told you that yes, it was the diagonal and this side was equals to A. So because of the bisection, AO is equals to OD is equals to has become half A by 2. That was half the side of this equilateral triangle, and I've considered that yes, side of the equilateral triangle, let it be equals to A. So what I'm having is a straight line, that's X, and it has been bisected in two segments. So addition of that two segments is equals to that X. So it is like X is equals to A by 2 plus Y by 2. So from here I get that 2 times X is equals to A plus Y. So from here I get that 2 times X minus Y is equals to A. So what we have done first of all is just excluded the variable that is equals to A. That is nothing but we have just found the side of this equilateral triangle in terms of X and Y, and that can be very, very helpful. Yes. Now moving to the second phase of the question and utilizing this data that yes, the side of these three equilateral triangles that are specified as congruent equilateral triangle is nothing but it's 2 times X minus Y. Now we will utilize this data as it's like an interval of our question. Now the second phase, yes. Now this is nothing but it's the side of the equilateral triangle, so it's having a length that is A, so X is means A is 2 times X minus Y. Yes, this is having a length that is equals to X. Very nice. And anything else that we have to have over here? And what can we say about this length? If this is the complete side of this equilateral triangle, that is 2 times X minus Y, this part is already equals to X, so this remaining is 2 times X minus Y minus X, that is nothing but X minus Y. So we can have that yes, the remaining thing after this intersection of X, so just marking yes, this was completely X, so this remaining part is nothing but it's X minus Y. So why I am going over there? Now the reason to bring it there is like the main idea I am having in my mind is that the data that we have just not utilized till now is that area is equals to equal this area is equals to this area. This is still left, remember. Now why I cannot say that, because look over here, this area is equals to this area is given. This is a very nice triangle, you can see 3 vertices are there, but this isn't a perfect kind of shape, so we cannot have its area very perfectly. You can say it's something very weird shape. We can say a normal quadrilateral. Nothing has been specified about that. So second thing, it's like not holding the ear directly, it's like holding the ear by taking our heads behind our head. If these three equilateral triangles are equal, so their area is going to be equal something like A. Yes, this much part and this much part is having the same area, let it be equals to B. So this remaining part is having an area that is A minus B, and that remaining part is also having an area that is A minus B. So now these areas, that is A minus B and A minus B, we can clearly see that yes, they are some kind of triangles, and area of triangle is very nice, that is in this, as this all angles were 90 degree, sorry, not 90 degree, 60 degree because of equilateral triangle. So this angle I know that's 60 degree, here this angle I know that is 60 degree. So 60 degree is there. Two of the sides if I will find, then area would be half the sides multiplied and sine of 60 degree, and sine of 60 degree has a very nice value. So I can have their area equal. I've just utilized the data as it has been given, so I can use it like that way. So what I can observe is that as I just found x minus y is the length of this, so in this particular triangle, let the color be changed something to, which color will look better, it's green. Yes, in this triangle I will just bold it so it's clear. Yes, in this triangle, yes, in this triangle, this side, that's this I already found, that is x minus y, and it is having the base, means as I told you that angle forming is at the center and the length of the other two sides should be given. So in the middle 60 is given, this I already found, that's x minus y, and the base I already have, that is the side of the equilateral triangle, that is 2 times x minus y. So here everything is clear. But over here, that's in this triangle, this side I already have, that is equals to y. Remember the original question, and this is not there, this is not there. So I'm just trying to find out that over here. So you got the idea why, means whatever I will do just next, the idea behind that is all this thing. So now just moving over here, that yes, we have found that yes, its length, this much length is x minus y. Now what I can observe is this thing. Can you figure out in the diagram? Yes, this triangle and this small triangle, this line is already parallel to this line, as I told you in the beginning. So if these two lines are parallel, this angle is equals to that angle, this angle is equals to that angle. So these two triangles get similar, and after that we can use the similarity property. So that over here, and let this length that is over here, let it be equals to k. So as that two triangles, this bigger and this smaller, are similar to each other, by similar we call it corresponding part of similar triangles, I can have that yes, 2 times x minus y upon k, that is this length, is equals to x upon x minus y. It's very simple, it's nothing to be explained over there, just prove these two are similar. Then correspondence, this and this upon this and this upon this. It's very simple. Now from here, cross multiplication to find the value of k. Now if I will find the value of k, this complete length, from here I will find the value of k in terms of x and y, yes, obviously, and this is having a complete length, that is the side of the equilateral triangle. So side of the equilateral triangle minus k will give me this side, and that's required to equate this area and this area, as I told you just now. So from here I get that yes, k is equals to 2 times x minus y into x minus y upon x. Yes, I'm just keeping it like that way. K is equals to something like this, 2 times x minus y into x minus y upon x. Now as I told you that yes, that two area I'm just putting equal, so doing that over here very nicely. So area of this is equals to area of this. So area of this first one is equals to half sine of 60 degree, the sides, so first of the side was x minus y, the other side is the base, and base is nothing but it's 2 times x minus y. Yes, and that is equals to area of this. So its middle angle, first of all area, that is half sine of 60 degree, the middle angle, this side is equals to y, so into y, and the other side that's remaining over here, it's going to be the full length, that is yes over here, the full length, that is 2 times x minus y minus k. So I'm just doing over there by keeping the value of k. So 2 times x minus y minus 2 times x minus y into x minus y upon x. So multiplying x over there, so x into 2 times x minus y minus 2 times x minus y into x minus y upon x. So yes, from here what I can do is just open the brackets. So opening the brackets, so 2 times x square minus xy minus 2 times x square minus minus positive 2 times xy negative negative positive yx negative positive and negative y square and upon x. So from what I can observe is 2x square get cancelled, 2x square get cancelled out, minus xy, positive xy get cancelled out. 2 times xy minus y square is there, so I can take y common, so it's 2 times x minus y upon x. So this is nothing but it's the remaining length, that is y into 2 times x minus y upon x. So that has to be multiplied over here. So it is y into 2 times x minus y upon x. Now just observe the things that are going to be cancelled over here. Half sine 60 got cancelled out. 2 times x minus y, 2 times x minus y got cancelled out. X can be multiplied over here, and y into y gives me y square. So if x is multiplied, so it's giving me x square minus xy is equals to y square. So from here I can have that x square minus xy minus y square is equals to 0. Now what I can do is just remove this first of all. In a straight line I am going to write, or else just writing this equation just a far bit. X square minus xy minus y square is equals to 0. Now what I can do from here is just consider x as my variable and y as my constant. I'm just meaning to say is I am just using the quadratic equation. It's like ab square, sorry, not ab, az square plus or minus bz plus or minus the constant. It should be in this form. So z square and z is there, so instead of here we have that x square is there, x is there, and y will be treated as the constant as abc. So in the quadratic formula, first of all, so x is equals to negative b, so negative of b over here means negative of y. Negative of negative y is, that is y, plus and minus square root of b square, so y square, minus 4 times of y square, so minus of minus 4 times y square, so plus 4 times y square, and upon 2. So it is equals to x is equals to y plus or minus square root of 5 times y square plus 2. So 5 times square root of 5 times y square is y, this thing, that is square root of 5 plus y square is y square root of 5 upon 2. I can take the y common, so x is equals to y taken common, 1 plus or minus square root of 5 upon 2. Y comes in division, so x upon y. Now remember that square root of 5 is having a value that is 2 point something like that way, 2.125 something like that way, means it's greater than 1. So 1 minus square root of 5 will give me a negative answer, and this ratio cannot be negative, so I have to go with the positive value. So square root of 5 plus 1 upon 2, and remember that yes, square root of 5 plus 1 upon 2, it's nothing but it's the golden ratio, that's 5. And that's a beautiful answer I was talking about, that x is equals to square root of 5 plus 1. So that was the beauty of this question. So here's my method, you can see on the screen. That's the method I have used to solve that, the midpoint theorem. First of all, after the midpoint theorem, just a beautiful relation of side of this equilateral triangle in terms of x and y. Then after, just this beautiful quadratic equation that's very easy to be solved over here, treating x as my constant and y as my variable, and holding the here from behind, that's taking the area, means the area was given that equal, but we have to take the alternate area equals, and finding that length of that was quite ridiculous over here, just using the similar triangle property. So this is the complete solution, and it's my way. So if you have any other method other than this, you can do comment below, or else you can DM me on my Instagram, link is in the description. When someone gives a better solution to the same question, and we can show it to our viewers, it spreads the knowledge.